When you look at your life today, you may not realize it, but the greatest battle you are fighting is not outside you. It is not with people, it is not with situations, it is not with circumstances. The greatest battle is inside you. It is the battle between your mind and your emotions. And until your mind becomes stronger than your emotions, you will continue to react instead of respond. You will continue to break instead of bend. You will continue to fall instead of stand. This is why I am speaking to you today. Because there is a version of you, disciplined, focused, unmoved, unshaken, unbroken, that is waiting to be trained, waiting to be awakened, waiting to rise above the noise inside you. You see, emotion is loud, very loud. Emotion is quick. Emotion is impulsive. Emotion is temporary, but can cause permanent damage when not controlled. Emotion makes you speak before thinking, act before reflecting, judge before understanding, and quit before trying. Emotion wants you to react now. It wants you to be a slave to whatever you feel in the moment. But your mind is meant to be the commander, the governor, the controller, the master. Your mind is meant to tell your emotions what to do, not the other way around. A mind that is untrained is like a house with open doors anything can walk in. Fear, anger, jealousy, frustration, insecurity. But a mind that is trained is like a gate with soldiers. Nothing enters without permission. You must understand this emotion is natural, but discipline is chosen. Emotion happens, but self-control is built. Emotion will shake you, but your mind must steady you. If you want to rise above your challenges, if you want to master your day, if you want to stop fighting battles that exhaust you, you must train your mind to be stronger than your emotions. Because if your emotions rule you, life will rule you. But if your mind rules your emotions, destiny will obey you. Right now, many of you listening to me are tired. Not because life is heavy, but because your emotions are heavy. You are tired because you have been carrying everything you feel as if it is everything that is true. But what you feel is not always what is real. Your emotions are like waves. They rise, they fall, they crash, they calm. But your mind must be like the shore, present, steady, unmoved. That is why many people are easily destroyed. They take temporary emotion and build permanent decisions around it. They feel anger for a moment and break relationships that took years to build. They feel fear for a moment and walk away from dreams that took years to form. They feel sadness for a moment and lose hope in futures that were only beginning to bloom. My brother, my sister, your emotions are not evil, but they are not meant to sit on the throne. They are messengers, not masters. They are indicators, not dictators. They tell you what is happening inside you, but they should never control what you do outside you. If your emotions are the driver of your life, you will crash. But if your mind becomes the driver, your emotions will follow in order. Many people want a strong life, but they do not want a strong mind. They want peace, but they allow their emotions to open the door to chaos. They want clarity, but they allow their feelings to fog their vision. They want breakthrough, but they allow anger, bitterness, and frustration to close the very doors they are praying for. Nothing changes outside until something changes inside. You cannot build a strong destiny on a weak mind. You cannot build a powerful life on a fragile inner world. You cannot walk in authority if your emotions still control your decisions. You must train your mind. You must discipline your thoughts. You must stop feeding your emotions with everything they they crave. Because emotions love drama, love negativity, love exaggeration. Emotions love to replay the past, enlarge the pain, and amplify the fear. But your mind must stand up and say, no. The mind becomes strong when you stop believing every story your emotions tell you. Your emotions will tell you, you are alone. But your mind must answer, I am growing. Your emotions will tell you, you cannot do it. But your mind must answer, I will learn how. Your emotions will tell you, it is too late. But your mind must answer, I am just beginning. Your emotions will tell you, they don't care about you. But your mind must answer, I am not living for approval. Your emotions will tell you, it hurts, give up. But your mind must answer, it hurts, but I will heal. When you train your mind, you become unshakable. People may misunderstand you, but you remain focused. Situations may pressure you, but you remain centered. Storms may rise around you, but peace rises within you. This is the strength many people lack today. Not physical strength, but emotional stability. The ability to feel deeply, but act wisely. The ability to face pressure, but not panic. The ability to hear negativity, but not inhale it. The ability to experience pain, but not become it. A strong mind is not a mind without emotion. It is a mind that does not obey every emotion. It is a mind that knows when to pause, when to breathe, when to reflect, when to wait, when to respond. Many of you respond too quickly because your emotions scream too loudly. The moment you feel hurt, you react. The moment you feel ignored, you respond. The moment you feel threatened, you strike. But emotion will always whisper lies when it is wounded. Emotion will always exaggerate when it is scared. Emotion will always react when it is insecure. That is why your mind must be trained to discern between feeling and truth. Hear me, if you can learn to pause, just pause, you will transform your life. A moment of pause is the strength of the mind over the emotion. When your mind pauses, your emotion loses power. When your mind pauses, clarity enters. When your mind pauses, wisdom speaks. When your mind pauses, truth rises above feeling. This pause is not weakness, it is power. It is discipline. It is authority over your inner world. You must also understand that your mind cannot become stronger than your emotions if you keep feeding it with what weakens it. Many of you want peace, but you feed your mind with conflict. You want confidence, but you feed your mind with comparison. You want focus, but you feed your mind with distraction. You want clarity, but you feed your mind with noise. You want strength, but you feed your emotions with every impulse, every thought, every reaction. To train your mind, you must starve what weakens it and feed what strengthens it. The mind grows stronger through reflection, through silence, through patience, through understanding, through intentional thinking, through letting go of what no longer serves you, through refusing to carry emotional baggage into a future that has no space for it. A strong mind knows how to release, and that is something most people never learn. They hold on to grudges, hold on to past pain, hold on to old narratives, hold on to memories that hurt more than they help. And yet they wonder why their emotions remain louder than their mind. Your mind cannot rise if your emotions still hold chains around it. Release is a form of strength. To let go is a form of victory. To move forward is a form of wisdom. A trained mind does not dwell in yesterday. It learns, it grows, it evolves, but it does not stay where the pain was. A trained mind knows how to rise. There will be moments when your emotions will shake you. You will feel hurt, rejected, disappointed, betrayed, misunderstood. That is normal. That is human. But those emotions should never win. You may feel weak, but you must think strong. You may feel afraid, but you must think courage. You may feel overwhelmed, but you must think order. You may feel angry, but you must think understanding. You may feel broken, but you must think healing. We are not defined by what we feel. We are defined by what we choose despite what we feel. Emotion is the storm, but the mind must be the anchor. Emotion is the wind, but the mind must be the sail. Emotion is loud, but the mind must speak louder. The life you want requires a version of you that your emotions will resist. Growth will ask you to do things your emotions do not like. Discipline will feel uncomfortable. Silence will feel empty. Forgiveness will feel unfair. Consistency will feel tiring. Patience will feel slow. But this is training. This is transformation. This is the shaping of a mind that refuses to be controlled by the chaos of the moment. A strong mind is not born, it is built through challenge, built through resilience, built through self-control, built through discipline, built through intentional living, built through choosing long-term vision over short-term emotion. This is how you rise above the battles inside you. Let me tell you something, the reason some people keep repeating the same cycles, because life refuses to change. But because their emotions refuse to change, they want a new season, but they carry the same emotional reactions into it. They want a new chapter, but they bring the same emotional triggers. They want new relationships, but carry old wounds. They want new opportunities, but carry old fears. And then they wonder why everything feels familiar. You cannot enter newness with an untrained mind. You cannot receive what is ahead if you still react to life the way you did before. If you train your mind, your life will follow. If you discipline your thoughts, your decisions will follow. If you control your emotions, your destiny will follow. People will provoke you, but you will not be moved. Situations will rise, but you will not collapse. Challenges will come, but you will not lose yourself. Because when the mind is strong, the heart becomes calm. When the mind is strong, the emotions bow in obedience. When the mind is strong, the inner world becomes stable. This strength inside you must become your priority. You must learn to wake up every day and train your mind. Speak to it, guide it, correct it, teach it, shape it. Every thought is a seed. Every reaction is a practice. Every emotion is a test. And every moment is an open opportunity to grow stronger. Tell your mind. Today, I choose peace over impulse. I choose discipline over distraction. I choose clarity over confusion. I choose patience over panic. I choose wisdom over reaction. I choose direction over emotion. Day by day, your mind will grow. Day by day, your emotions will listen. Day by day, the inner strength you once wished for will become the strength you now live with. And when that happens, when your mind becomes stronger than your emotions, no situation will intimidate you. No challenge will break you. No voice will shake you. No failure will define you. And no fear will control you. You will walk through life with stability, with clarity, with purpose, with strength. You will speak with authority, act with wisdom, and move with confidence. You will no longer be a slave to what you feel. You will be a master of your inner world. This is the life you were meant to live. This is the strength you were meant to carry. This is the victory you were meant to walk in. Train your mind, discipline your emotions, and you will rise into a version of yourself that even your past never believed you could become. When your mind commands, your emotions obey. This is not just a sentence. It is a law of inner authority. A principle that separates those who rise from those who remain trapped, those who lead their life from those who are led by their feelings. Those who master their inner world from those who become prisoners of every mood, every fear, every burst of emotion. Many people today live as if their emotions are their leaders, as if their feelings are kings, as if the moment their heart shakes, their whole life must shake. This is why small things offend them. Small situations break them. Small challenges defeat them. They have given emotions the power that belongs to the mind. They have allowed feelings to sit on the throne meant for wisdom. And anything that sits in the wrong place will cause disorder, confusion, instability. Your emotions were never designed to be the commander. They were designed to follow the command. When your mind commands, your emotions obey, because the mind is the seat of understanding, direction, discernment. The mind is where you reason, where you stabilize yourself, where you decide the meaning of what happens to you. Your emotions can scream, they can shout, they can shake you, but they cannot define you unless your mind agrees. Every emotion you feel, fear, anger, sadness, frustration, desire, only has power when your mind gives it permission. Emotions are messengers. Only your mind is the master. If your mind does not command, your emotions will take control. And when emotions take control, they drive with urgency, with haste, with no patience, no wisdom, no vision. But when the mind commands, there is order. There is discipline. There is structure. There is clarity even in the middle of chaos. Many people wonder why they keep repeating the same mistakes, why they react to situations the same way, why they lose control over small triggers. It is because their emotions have never learned obedience. And emotions cannot obey until the mind learns to command. The mind must speak with authority. It must make decisions based on purpose, not feeling. It must act based on direction, not impulse. When your mind is passive, emotions become aggressive. When the mind is weak, emotions become wild. When the mind is silent, emotions become loud. This is why your inner world feels turbulent, because the wrong voice is leading. To reach a point where your emotions obey, you must train your mind to speak first. Most people let emotions speak first. Something happens, they feel before they think. Someone says a careless word, they react before they reflect. A situation changes, they fear before they understand. When emotion speaks first, chaos follows. But when the mind speaks first, wisdom follows, peace follows, discipline follows, authority follows. Because the mind speaks with intention, not with impulse. The mind commands by choosing interpretation. You cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control what your mind decides it means. When someone disappoints you, emotion will say, you are not valued. But the mind can command, this is a lesson, not a verdict. When failure comes, emotion will say, you are not capable. But the mind can command, this is preparation, not rejection. When fear rises, emotion will say, run. But the mind can command, stand. When sadness appears, emotion will say, break down. But the mind can command, breathe. When anger rises, emotion will say, attack. But the mind can command, understand. This is the true strength of a trained mind. It turns reactions into responses. It turns explosions into evaluations. It turns pain into perspective. It turns emotion into energy, controlled, directed, purposeful. A strong mind does not kill emotions. It leads them. It does not dismiss emotions. It guides them. It does not force emotions to disappear. It trains them to follow instruction. Emotions are powerful, but they need leadership. Without leadership, they create chaos. Under leadership, they create purpose. Anger under leadership becomes protection, not destruction. Fear under leadership becomes awareness, not paralysis. Sadness under leadership becomes depth, not collapse. Desire under leadership becomes drive, not temptation. Passion under leadership becomes discipline, not distraction. Every emotion has a purpose when the mind is strong enough to command it. To reach this level, you must understand the nature of emotions. Emotions are momentary, but they try to speak permanently. Emotions are loud, but not always accurate. Emotions are real, but not always right. Emotions are honest, but not always wise. Emotions are fast, but not always aligned with your future. If you let emotions lead, they will push you into actions that your future will regret. If you let your mind lead, it will take emotions and put them in the right place at the right time for the right reason. The mind commands by creating distance. Distance between feeling and action. Distance between impulse and decision. Distance between reaction and response. This distance is the birthplace of wisdom. When something triggers you, emotion wants you to react in 5 seconds. A trained mind creates a 5-second pause, a 5-second breath, a 5-second silence. And in that silence, wisdom speaks. Clarity returns. Emotion is still there, but it cannot control. It is present, but it cannot decide. It is loud, but it cannot lead, because the mind has taken the throne. You must practice commanding your mind in small moments. Before you speak, pause. Before you react, think. Before you judge, understand. Before you assume, observe. Before you quit, evaluate. These small practices build the muscle of mental authority. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, your emotions will learn that they are not allowed to act without permission. They will rise, but they will wait for your mind to command them. Just like a powerful horse becomes disciplined under a trained rider, your emotions become powerful yet controlled under a trained mind. There are people who live in emotional slavery because their mind is asleep. They allow every feeling to dictate their behavior. If they feel irritated, they speak harshly. If they feel discouraged, they stop trying. If they feel lonely, they attach to the wrong people. If they feel insecure, they compare themselves to others. If they feel jealous, they attack others. If they feel angry, they destroy relationships. This is not because they are bad people. It is because their emotions have never been taught to obey. Your emotions do not need freedom. They need leadership. They need boundaries. They need structure. They need to be told what to do. And only your mind is capable of giving that instruction. A trained mind can feel pain without collapsing, feel fear without retreating, feel anger without attacking, feel sadness without drowning, feel disappointment without losing hope. This is true strength, not the absence of emotion, but the mastery of emotion. When your mind commands, your emotions obey because your mind becomes anchored. Emotions move like waves, constantly rising and falling. But a trained mind becomes the anchor that keeps you from being dragged away by emotional currents. People will say things that hurt you, but your mind will anchor you. Situations will change abruptly, but your mind will anchor you. Seasons will shift unexpectedly, but your mind will anchor you. Challenges will come suddenly, but your mind will anchor you. That anchor prevents you from being tossed around by every feeling, every mood, every emotional moment. Without the anchor, emotions will control your life. With the anchor, emotions will serve your life. You must learn the language of the mind. The language of the mind is not feeling, it is focus, it is reflection, it is reasoning, it is truth, it is perspective. Emotions talk about the moment. The mind talks about the destination. Emotions talk about how it feels. The mind talks about what it means. Emotions talk about your pain. The mind talks about your purpose. Emotions talk about the problem. The mind talks about the solution. When the mind speaks, emotions bow. A trained mind is consistent. Emotions are temporary. You cannot build destiny on temporary feelings. You cannot build character on temporary moods. You cannot build decisions on temporary emotions. You cannot build relationships on temporary reactions. Everything lasting in your life must come from your mind, not your emotions. Vision comes from the mind. Wisdom comes from the mind. Strategy comes from the mind. Direction comes from the mind. Growth comes from the mind. Emotion contributes, but it cannot lead. When your mind commands, your emotions obey, because your mind becomes your guardian. It protects you from unnecessary battles, unnecessary conflicts, unnecessary pain. It protects you from overthinking, from overreacting, from misinterpreting. It protects you from drowning in what you feel. It protects you from giving power to every negative emotion that rises. When your mind commands, you stop fighting battles that are not yours. Stop carrying burdens that are not yours. Stop responding to noise that is not yours. A strong mind filters what enters. Not every thought deserves attention. Not every feeling deserves a reaction. Not every emotion deserves a decision. The mind decides what enters, what stays, and what is dismissed. Without this filter, emotions will bring everything inside: fear, doubt, anger, insecurity. And your inner world will become confused. With a strong mind, emotions are filtered, sorted, directed. They go where they belong, not where they please. You must also understand that emotions cannot be suppressed. They must be directed. Suppression is weakness, direction is strength. When you suppress emotion, it grows in the dark. When you direct emotion, it becomes fuel for growth. Anger becomes determination. Fear becomes caution. Sadness becomes depth. Passion becomes discipline. The mind must take raw emotion and refine it like fire refining gold. To command your emotions, your mind must be trained daily. Consistency creates authority. What you think about shapes how you feel. What you focus on strengthens or weakens your emotions. If you consume negativity, your emotions will obey it. If you constantly revisit past hurt, your emotions will remain wounded. If you compare yourself to others, your emotions will remain insecure. If you entertain fear, your emotions will remain paralyzed. But if your mind chooses peace, your emotions will calm. If your mind chooses gratitude, your emotions will stabilize. If your mind chooses truth, your emotions will align. If your mind chooses growth, your emotions will follow. A trained mind speaks in the language of discipline. Discipline is the foundation of command. Without discipline, emotions will rise uncontrollably. Discipline is the voice inside you that says, not now, not this, not that, not here, not today. Discipline directs emotion. It sets boundaries. It establishes structure. It creates an inner environment where emotions must obey. When your mind commands, your emotions obey because your identity becomes rooted. Most people are emotionally unstable because their identity is unstable. They let emotions define who they are. If they feel weak, they think they are weak. If they feel afraid, they think they are incapable. If they feel lonely, they think they are unworthy. But a trained mind knows the difference between identity and emotion. You may feel weak, but you are not weak. You may feel afraid, but you are not incapable. You may feel lonely, but you are not unworthy. When identity is rooted, emotions cannot shake you. Your emotions must learn to respect your mind. They must know that they can rise, but they cannot rule. They can speak, but they cannot decide. They can shake you, but they cannot move you. This inner authority does not come from force. It comes from consistency, from practice, from discipline, from reflection, from silence, from understanding yourself deeply, from choosing your inner strength over your temporary feelings. When your mind commands, your emotions obey because your mind becomes the driver. The driver decides the direction, the speed, the route. Emotions are passengers. They sit in the seat, but do not touch the wheel. They can express themselves, but they cannot control the journey. They can make noise, but they cannot change the destination. The mind holds the wheel firmly, guiding your life with purpose, not with emotional impulses. When your mind commands, peace follows, strength follows, clarity follows, stability follows, authority follows, and your emotions, once loud, once scattered, once uncontrollable, begin to align, to calm, to respect the leadership of your mind.